All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode number 8 of the Tasha Haskins Show. The Tasha Haskins Show is a show where I get to talk with people who are entertainers, athletes, influencers, people that have specialties, and really be able to dig deep into different topics that are maybe sometimes taboo, sometimes there's uncomfortable conversations, but the purpose is to talk about that inner success, purpose, mental health, and all of that. So again, I'm Tasha Haskins. It is Tuesday. I like to say Tasha on Tuesdays. I'm really, really excited to be here with you guys. So you already know I have to do my shout outs to the people that are responsible, other than my parents biologically, for making me look as great as I do. And shout out to, of course, Vanessa, the owner of Queen's Allure out of Washington State. She hooked me up with my new fresh little curly look tonight, you guys. I got the short back. Isn't it cute? I love it. Okay. So I got my cute little hair back. Thank you to her. Awesome installation on that crochet. And then, of course, she beat my face as usual. I mean, actually, okay, so I have a confession. So I had like a nude lip when I left her shop. So she may or may not be looking at me crazy from wherever she's at. But like our guests, I mean, of course, she has her iconic pink hair. Hello. So I had to like add the whole pink lip situation so that she knew that I was a supporter of the whole pink thing. But anyway, other than that, I just want to say thank you, Vanessa. And as you guys already know, I have, gosh, for over a year now, been so generously sponsored by Fashion Nova for my wardrobe. So this super cute dress, which you guys will see in some pictures I'll probably post later. But it's super cute, and I feel really cute today. All right, so sorry, there's like a bug. Okay, that's weird. Anyway, but it's okay. It's Tasha. I'm really excited that you guys are here. I'm really excited about my guest. I met her through Mrs. Curvey Globe. As you guys know, I held that world title in 2020. I was like a pandemic international world queen, but she represented the state of Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. Pennsylvania is the state, not Philadelphia. She is laughing at me in the virtual green room right now, and that's fine. We all make mistakes. No one's perfect, and that's fine. But anyway, yeah, so she was Mrs. Curvey, Pennsylvania, and she did very well. She took away a lot of awards. Like she's like super dope. You guys are going to meet her. But again, we're going to be talking about some things that are a little on the edgy side. She is a pop soul plus size model. So we're going to kind of talk about just being a curvy woman and even a sexy woman in that industry, as well as like the things that she has to do and deal with as far as mental health is concerned. We're also going to kind of talk about that whole like sex sells like thing and maybe some, stereotypes around that. So I think this show is going to be really fun. I want you guys to make sure that you guys tap in, you guys comment, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or whatever platform you have chosen today, that you will chime in and even just say hi. Like, let me know where you're watching from. You can tell me I'm cute. I mean, it doesn't really matter what you choose to say. I will accept it. All right. I hope I haven't missed anything. Who knows? I'm random. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a cute little clip that I've actually been promoting with. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. But anyway, I'm going to go off screen, show you guys a cute little clip from Miss Rosa Nice, one of her amazing singles.
Let me tell you the truth. Yeah, I'm loving everything you're doing. When you got my body, yes, it's moving. I can't stop thinking about you. Yeah, wanna have my cake and eat it too. Yeah, you know I'm acting like a lady. Give it up to you on the third day. No, I wanna put it on for you. Yeah, you know you got me following the rules. Yeah, I'm choosing you. Let me show you.
She's so dope. Oh my gosh. I mean, I want some chocolate colored strawberries and all that kind of stuff. All right, you guys, enough of me. Please welcome beautiful. Oh, snap. Wait, she's ready. Okay. Miss Rosa Nice. Hey, what's up, beautiful?
Hi, thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, you are so welcome. Okay, so before I start asking you questions, I just want to hear you like do that little ballad right there, because I know, you know, people be thinking, oh, they be in the studio and they be, you know, mastering their voices, but I've heard you like just raw, like on a live, so I know you actually got a voice, girl. So go ahead and just give us a little ballad for all your little fans. I'm getting all kinds of hearts and stuff floating over here, so I can tell people are excited. Go ahead, girl.
I
Whatever
think
you want
it's
to say,
every singer's worst nightmare is when they get asked to pick a song to sing, because we never know what song to sing.
Like, what's a hook to one of your newest singles? Like, just
Like one of my songs.
Yeah,
That's
girl,
funny.
that's your song.
Now that I have my own songs, I guess I can sing my songs. You know, growing up, it was like Alicia Keys, Adele, Take Me to the King. Those are my go-tos.
Take Me to the King. Wait, hold up. I mean, I might want to hear Take Me to the King. Wait, like the gospel song? Hold on. The gospel song, Take Me to the King? Oh, okay, sis. I want to hear, wait a minute. I want to hear one of your songs, but I want to hear that. Go ahead, girl. Take us to church, because now I got goosebumps. Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to think where I should start, because you know that intro is a little long. I'm just going to start with the Take Me to the King part.
Why don't we just do that? Just do a couple. Yeah, go ahead.
You know it's long. Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring. My heart is torn in pieces. It's my offering. Woo. Lay me at the throne and leave me there alone to gaze upon your glory and sing to you this song. Please take me to the King. Okay, I got goosebumps. Now I feel like, okay, yes, amen. Oh my God, that was I just put you on the spot. You weren't expecting to do any of that. I know you've been recording and filming, so thank you for that. That's powerful. She's been talking to me for the last 15 minutes and didn't say anything. Because I feel like I would have prepped you. I was going to do it. You'd be like, don't do that. So that's why I did it. Do it. But anyway, so why don't you share with us a little bit about yourself? I mean, I got to learn a little bit about you, some things that, you know, people may not think would be traits and a storyline of just a beautiful, sexy, curvy pop soul star like yourself. So why don't you introduce us to you? Well, thank you for calling me a star, because I just feel like I have so much further to go. But I have been super blessed. Where to start, right? You know, I am the product of a military family that was divorced. So both my family, you know, both my parents traveled quite a bit. And that kind of instilled a love for travel and people in me. And from maybe 5 years old, I was in musicals. My mom sang and directed. My sister was 4 years older and was always singing in the lead. So I just picked it up naturally, you know, singing and all of that. I didn't start writing music, though, until after I got divorced. I think I got married when I was 20, March of 2015. And 3 weeks later, I got pregnant. And I found out 4 months later that I was 3 months pregnant, and I was not even 21 yet. And I was married, no education, had dropped out of college. But I've always been so smart and so dedicated, but I just didn't have a path, you know, and I was stuck. I didn't know what I was doing. I had a husband who would come home from work and ask me where his food was after I had come home from work and taken care of a baby and been breastfeeding every 2 hours and pumping. And it felt like my stuff started to get broken. The violence started to get worse, the pots and pans being thrown. So I left. My daughter was 10 months old. November 17th of 2016, I left. Middle of the night, 2 a.m. Shout out to my girlfriend who came, woke her boyfriend up out of his sleep, was like, come on, we're going to bring, you know, Rosa to the airport. I was in New Orleans. That's where she and him are from. And we came here to the suburbs of Philly. And we rebuilt a life. I started going to school when she was first born. I finished my associates, studied psychology, I'm a senior right now. I have 2 classes left this semester and 1 next semester, and I'll graduate.
That's awesome.
You know, on top of all of this, I've been able to follow my dreams too. So it's been hard. My mom's helped me a lot. Without my mom and my support system, and honestly, the last 8 months without Mrs. Globe, I wouldn't have really made it. I wouldn't be able to sit here today, accomplished, with my hair done.
I hear you.
In my own space. I've gone through a lot, but when it came to making music, that was the only thing that seemed like I did something right. People, for the first time, were hearing how I truly felt instead of me just going off at the mouth by accident saying too much.
Well, we all kind of do that. I mean, I think, first of all, I just want to say I'm so proud of you. It's hard. I was around the same age when I became a mother. And I, too, along the lines of had to walk away from a very abusive situation. I mean, I think the second major pageant that I participated in, I was actually homeless, competing, I was literally living in a transitional housing facility. And they did a send-off party for me and everything. And, but I mean, I just want to say, I'm so proud of you. I mean, God, you said 2000. So that means you're like not even 30 yet. You're like a baby.
I'm 27.
Oh my gosh, you're a baby. But that's okay. No, it's good. That means you have so much. I mean, I think about there's probably so many people watching that wish that they would have had the courage to do what you did at a younger age. I know you feel like, oh my God, it's 27. Girl, please. I'm just getting started and I'm 40. So you have like so much time to go. But I just want to just say thank you. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of women that are watching now and women that will watch in the future to have that courage to walk away. But something else you said, Rosa, that really touched me was about how your passion was the space where you felt like you were doing something right, because the narrative in your life has been you're always doing something wrong, right? And yes. So that resonates with me, and I'm sure so many people. I mean, I was the black sheep of sorts, so I was treated that way, getting pregnant out of wedlock and then not finishing my degree right away, and then, gaining weight and not taking the traditional path to success, And so it was like, this constant thing. But I found an industry that allowed me to shine in all my areas that I feel strong in. And I think this is a message, not to interrupt you guys, but those you guys are watching, like there's nothing wrong with healing through your passion. That's what I hear you saying is about actually going through the healing process and healing using that passion. And so I think that's so powerful. This platform is that for me, like giving people a platform to share their story. But anyway, I know that you have gotten some degrees, you're about to, finish that out and everything else. Now you said you're writing your own songs. Now I'm just we're just gonna go right into it. Yes.
Let's go.
So you are a very, okay, so you guys, it's funny. So we had a conversation while she was running for the pageant title. And I said, Rosa, girl, yes, you are nice. I know you, Rosa, not so nice, but I need you to be nice for the pageant, okay? I'm going to need you to put your little good girl on. You know what I'm saying? We can't be, we got to save the twerking until after the pageant.
The twerking. I saved it, though. I saved it. I did it.
You did. I was very proud of you. But people often have a misperception of sexuality in the music industry. I'm guilty of making comments like, oh, I'm not going to be no Meg Thee Stallion, but it's like, it's a business, and it's their business. It's their brand. They probably don't look like that on an everyday basis and doing all that, they do. Okay. Well, I don't know
about them, but I'm exactly the same in real life that I am behind. So,
well, all righty then.
So if they're not, I don't know, I may be doing something wrong.
But I mean, like the whole super. So I've heard people say sex sells. And like and it's weird because I was raised super ultra conservative, and I live in this little town, and me and my brothers are the only black kids in our entire school. Like I just live in this little box. Okay, I mean it's okay. I mean,
in the bubble. I call it the bubble.
Yes, I was in a bubble. You know, which my parents did it because they wanted us to be protected, have a better life than they did, et cetera, et cetera. But I had a very conservative like mindset that was instilled in me about how you present yourself and what you do and how you dress, and so then I became very critical of women that I'd be like, oh my God, their butt's hanging out of their pants and this is happening, that's happening. But that's not necessarily an indication of who they are and what their character is. So can you talk about just maybe the sex appeal that you have and the why behind that, and how you incorporate that into your awesomeness as an entertainer?
Sure. I think that's a great question, first of all, because you're right. There is a misconception that because of what someone wears, that they're a sexual being, whereas those two could be completely opposite. I
go ahead and say it, girl. Anything goes.
It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh because my whole life I grew up overweight. I grew up bullied. I grew up like, I know the guys that bully me follow me on Instagram now and like my pictures. And when I started loving myself, when I got divorced and I said, I'm only staying in this relationship because I want to feel loved because I'm not loving myself. I stood up into this form of myself that many people won't really realize that form of themselves until they hit a wall, until they're on the ground. I was literally on the ground being choked by my husband, like, yo, I need to go, while he had my daughter in one arm. Like, so there comes a point where you realize, like, I never loved myself. I never would buy nice clothes. I never would wear a bikini at the beach. I would never, like, and I would see other big girls wear shorts and long sleeves in the pool. And I never understood why we were forced to do that, why society made us do that. And then I started wearing what I wanted, what made me feel comfortable, what made me think that I looked good, whether it was a sweatshirt, a bikini, or nothing at all. This is the only culture. Listen, our culture in the United States is one of the only cultures that doesn't like promote natural beauty. You go to France, there's nude beaches everywhere. They got armpit hair, leg hair. Here, our culture demoralizes it. Okay, you have hair on your vagina, on your legs, under your underarms, you're disgusting. Okay, you have cellulite and stretch marks, you need to retouch it. I did my first boudoir shoot, which is just lingerie. It's not like I'm showing, the nipple or, anything sexual. It's not sexual content. And that blew up my Instagram. I've been doing music for 3 years now. It had only been about a year when the pandemic started. And I've seen more growth since I started modeling and loving my body and promoting self-love than I have before that, when I was covered up, when I wasn't comfortable. And I weigh more now than I did then too. So I think that the stereotypes and the stigmas behind like sexuality and dressing like a slut, it's like, you never know. Your next door neighbor, Lisa, could be banging your daddy and you didn't know. So she dressed fine. She dressed like a school teacher,
let's talk about that, because that's facts right there. There are some very well covered up, conservative, like scandalous women out there. Okay. Like,
and they can be them. And that's them.
That's them, right? You're right. And
no judgment, but don't judge me because I feel confident in my skin. Even as a plus size model on Instagram is hard because our photos and videos get taken down as nudity and sexual content, and we have a bikini on. Meanwhile, Lord, I really want to pull this picture up. Lord has an album with her entire nipple out, boob, areola, nipple, and it's not blocked. I'm like, all you can see is my fat. Like, what?
I mean, you know what's interesting? So I guess more so as a demonstration or a part of me walking in my healing, right? Which was a big part of me competing in the Mrs. Globe pageant and Mrs. Curvey. But I have done images and branding images, like things I've never done before, even when I was, younger. And I mean, I've just felt so much like, I don't know. I mean, honestly, when I did like my bikini photo shoot when I was in the British Virgin Islands, like that was amazing. I felt so amazing. I was like, oh my God, like I look great. And every time I post that image, you know that I have women who are like 1/8 of the size that I am that are like, you inspired me with that image of you in your swimsuit. And I'm like, I did? Like your thighs don't touch and you're inspired by me. But it's like a mindset, right? It's that self-love, that concept. So are women who are portraying themselves that way, is it possible that maybe at one point in time they didn't even like who they were?
Yep.
And now they do. So they're wanting to showcase that, just as like they would announce, hey, I got this degree. They might be like, hey, I like what I look like now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just started liking what I look like in the mirror. I'm being honest.
It's a daily struggle. Like, sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God. And sometimes I'm like, there she is. Like, yeah. And I think that acknowledging that it's not a black and white, like you love yourself all the time. Like, we're all going to face struggles with how we look, our bodies. That's why it's important to do self-affirmations like I am beautiful. And then it's also important to put in action. I don't eat meat. I'm like the biggest vegan vegetarian you'll ever meet. I don't drink milk. I eat like this much cheese, so I guess it's vegetarian. But that's a health thing for me. Right. And so it's like this weird thing, this weird ideology where we're hypersexualized for being plus size.
Right.
And then we're expected to be unhealthy. And then when we really love ourselves, we break all of their boundaries, all of their stereotypes, and they're confused. And listen,
that is so good, girl. You are preaching today. Listen, I'm telling you, I posted images of me like I did this one shoot. It was a DIY shoot, and I was wearing like a blue 2-piece swimsuit with like a basketball because I used to play basketball, and I did. Yep. And I remember I posted a picture in my story. And I had this man, he was like, you need to put all that away, like heart face, right? But it was kind of like, I know that if I weighed, 90 pounds, no one would be telling me to put it away, right? And I'm like covered up. I mean, I'm not like, you can't, I mean, the areas that need to be covered are covered, but I still thought it was like,
put away.
Right. But I mean, that's a very valid point. And you're right. They are confused. Like, wait, you're not insecure anymore? Wait, you don't want to just buy like, the frumpy clothes anymore? Like, what are you doing? Like
Lizzo. Like Lizzo. All these other women in the industry that are thin can be out here shaking it, moving their bodies, doing what they want. First of all, it's biological women, trans women, all of the skinny girls get to do what they want. And then you see Lizzo, and she is targeted and fat shamed constantly. And I think that it takes a strong woman like us to help. No, you're okay.
No, I'm like trying to like watch and like monitor. So I apologize, everybody. Like I said, I'm a maestro. I don't have a separate producer. I'm
water break.
So I was like trying to watch. Okay, my bad. Okay, continue, girl. What you're preaching? Your church right now. I'm trying to figure out why all my comments aren't coming through to my stream right now. I don't know why, because people are watching.
Technology.
I know. I'm like, usually I can see the ones from Facebook and everywhere, but for some reason I can't see them. So anyway, I apologize.
No, don't apologize. Listen,
this is raw. Okay?
Things are growing. When things are growing, it's the most exciting time to be a part of them. And that's why I say everybody needs to hop on the Rosa train now, because Rosa is growing. The people I'm around are not the people I was around 2 years ago. Absolutely. My growth has been exponential. To see the people around me that are doing like things that I can only dream about It means that I'm in the right direction. And I say this to everyone, no matter you're skinny or small, you could hate yourself. And if you hate yourself, you're not going to go anywhere far. You're going to be stuck. You're going to be doing the same thing, trying to figure out why you hate your life. And it's because you don't love yourself. You don't know who you are. You're not taking the time to figure it out. You don't go, listen, do you go get massages once a month?
I mean, no, but I should. I mean, I'll do it. Don't get mad at me.
I went, okay, I'm going to tell you a story. I mean,
I take baths. I like to take baths. I mean, I don't really always,
self-care. You do self-care, but I think, and this is my way of self-care, I think that everyone deserves to go get a massage once a month. I need a massage once a month, and I work hard enough so that I can pay for my massage once a month. I chose 2 days ago to go to a new massage salon. And it was a spa and massage parlor. And I was so excited. I found it on Groupon. First of all, it was an hour and a half away. Totally worth the drive. Listen, I get there. I have my bathing suit on. I have my towel on. And I'm like, and she's like, no. I'm like, what you mean, no? She said, everything needs to come off. I said, my bathing suit? She said, yes. I was like, okay. Walked right back to
You're like, are you sure you're ready for all this?
I said, all right, you asked for it. I walked right back to my locker, took my bathing suit off, and was naked and free with all those skinny women. And listen, the problem was that I second guessed my body. Why, if all these other women are in this bath, and there was only like 6 other people because I went late at night. I'm kind of like still afraid of COVID. But if all of these women are comfortable in their bodies, and there's this huge bathing area with Korean body scrubs and hip baths, 3 different pools of water, and a giant water stream and a sauna. Why would I not want to go in because I couldn't wear clothes? You got me messed up. And I had a great time. It was invigorating. It was empowering.
You have something like that here, I think, in South Seattle or somewhere.
You need to go.
I don't want to go do that. I'm going to do
it. It's so empowering because my whole life I've been told that I was ugly, that I was fat, ugly, fat. And for the first time, I got to see myself and be like, well, this fat bitch is in the hip bath.
I think that's so amazing. And I think what people don't understand is that how we see ourselves doesn't necessarily have a size attached to it. Mm-hmm. I was sharing this. Actually, I think I was talking about this when I was interviewing Alicia about a month or so ago, and we were talking about how when you're backstage and you're getting ready at a pageant and you're looking, and the girls that are this big are like, oh my god, you look fat, can you see this, can you do that? And then us, the plus size girls, are like, oh my gosh, you look fat, are you good?
Yeah, right. You're like, look fat where?
Oh, okay. I was like, honey, there's nobody behind you. But anyway, so we're sitting here, and it's like whether we're skinny or we're thick or we're whatever, we all feel the same way. I mean, girls this big look in the mirror and find a flaw. They find something wrong with themselves, and I think that it's a mindset. It's not a size set. Ooh, hey, I'm
yeah, no size set. I like that. That's the slogan.
It's not. This is, and and again, it took me a long time to finally, I thought I was fat when I wasn't even fat. Okay, I'd be looking at pictures of me in high school. I'm like,
what the hell? Can I have that body back?
I'm like, that was like 100 and something pounds ago. Like, wait a minute. I thought I was fat back then. I thought I had a whole lot.
I was just slim thick.
But again, it's
it's society. It's society, and and honestly, it's the people you grow up around. My mom. Yeah. Sorry, Mom. Listen, she's been self-conscious my whole life. Yeah. She's always commented on her body, on her weight. She never prioritized exercise or food. Meals. She prioritized my and her education, and she prioritized making money for my family. And that's what I prioritized in my life until I was 23. Money and my family. And when I stopped prioritizing everyone else and said, Rosa needs to be number one, because unless Rosa's number one, nobody else can even be number 2 or 3 or 4. You can't take care of anybody else until you love yourself. And it's
so
just
good.
serious. No matter what weight you are.
Right. No, that's facts. And I think like their analogy, and it's been said over and over again, but you know how when you're in an airplane and they say, okay, if the cabin loses pressure, these masks are going to drop down. And if you have minor children, you first need to secure your own mask before you put it on your child, because the principle is like, if you can't breathe and you're dying, like, who are you going to help? You know, kind of a thing. And
Exactly.
I think it's interesting because I know I've experienced you know, some size bashing. I will never forget when my father passed away. This is now this month, actually, it'll be 13 years ago. And they had this big, huge, like a fundraising concert, and it had like a very well-known Kim Burrell is a really well-known gospel singer, and like all these people were there, and they were doing it in honor of my family. And my dad was a really, really influential person, like 4,000 people at his memorial service, like a very influential person. But anyway, I remember they brought our family up, whatever. But anyway, after the fact, I posted some pictures, and I was like, I'm so grateful to everybody. And there was this woman that went out of her way to be like, yeah, I'm sure your dad would be disappointed to see how fat you are. Like, I mean, just, it was cruel. I'm talking like she came for me. Like, how dare you be taking pictures? And it was, and I wish I could fast forward into my mindset, my healed mindset now, because then I would have interpreted that this woman is hurting. Like, she's hurting, or maybe she could never see herself doing that, or she couldn't, because maybe where she's at, she doesn't feel like, you know, how can she do that?
Yeah.
Family members who literally were flat out told me, I can't support you trying to be a pageant person in obesity. Like, directly.
Like, what does that even mean?
Right. But I realized it was more their personal issue, their own
With themselves.
And their fear because of maybe their weight or their limitations to actually operate in their dreams in spite of what they may look like or what their society is or whatever the case may be. And I think that's what your story really shows, Rosa, is that, like, you know, getting back to this whole like sexualization thing, because, you know, like, I'm guilty of looking at women that are perform and represent like you do. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it real, and I'm guilty of being not being even because you're big. Okay, I don't care. You could be this big. I'd be like, why is her booty out? Why are her titties out? Why she gotta bend over like that? Why is the camera? Why come the camera can't be on her face? Why gotta be on her booty? You know, like, I'm over here like,
because they like it like that. You have to find what your fans like. Listen, everybody has different fans. Some skinny girls are going to have fans that are like church followers. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to see the booty shake. I don't know what it is about me. My body has been more liked than my music. I had to push my music through my modeling. Like, hey, I know I'm a plus size model, but can you check out my Spotify?
No, that's
you know, at the beauty pageant, I gave everyone a bubble bath that had my Spotify and title link on it. Like,
that's called business. Okay, way to go, girl.
Like, I only started modeling because my producer said, Rosa, you're beautiful. Why don't you model? Why don't you try to get in some of these music videos? Why don't you take modeling pictures? Why don't you do that seriously? And I was like, because I'm fat. He was like, get out. He was like, get out. I was like, out of the studio, but I paid for time. He was like, no, because if you're gonna think like that, you can't work with me. You can't think about yourself like that. And that conversation with him, I think it happened in January of 2020, right before the pandemic started. I took my first boudoir pictures in February, and since then I've seen exponential growth. I don't care if people think I'm a sexual being. I'm really not. I don't have a boyfriend. I've been divorced now for 4 years. Like, it costs to date me. I take myself on expensive dates. Like, my spa date just cost $500, and I did that for myself. What do you think I expect of you? Like, I'm a full-time mom, a full-time student, a model, a singer. I have a full-time job. I own a publishing company. I don't really have time to date unless, you know, you're really the symbiotic energy, like.
That is so funny. I love it. But I think that's something I also kind of want to talk about, because what frustrates me is that when let's say men in the music industry, you know, they don't necessarily have to compromise maybe their normal character or morals to be able to be a big deal. And, you know, you don't see dudes saying like, oh, here's my chest muscle and my abs, listen to my tape. Like, it's like, you know, they're about to be like, yo, are you good or you not? You feel me? Like, they're not going to care. Like, if you got muscle, I mean, think about like Heavy D, like, you don't even have to be in shape, like, to be a dude. Like, you could just be whatever
you just have to have money and be connected. That's it.
Exactly. And then as a woman that you do, I that's a very valid point. Like, I think about, you bring up Lizzo, you know, and I've heard her story, and, you know, she lost her dad too, but she was like an honor roll student and was like trying to be in like a classical, like universal orchestra playing the flute.
I love it.
Singing was kind of like an afterthought for her. You know, she was like literally like a professional flutist. Okay. But, you know, and I know, you know, I applaud her body love and all of that, but it hurt me that for her to really get on the map, she had to start taking her clothes off and jiggling and doing all this stuff for attention. Then it became, first she was kind of like a circus act, and then it was like, oh, she actually can sing. She's actually an artist. She's actually this. She's actually that. You know, and that is something that's very frustrating for me to watch as a woman. I mean, I'm not a singer. God said you don't get to be skinny. You don't get to be a singer. So I can't do any of that. And I'm fully aware of those limitations. But I know that in the modeling world, there are things I've turned down. I've turned down big paying jobs in my early years with like name brand, like name brand stuff you see like that, because I was like, oh my God, what if my kids' friends walk by and they see me in that bra and underwear, like on an underwear package in Walmart?
And so what if they do? That's
that was me though, right? Based on my upbringing, right? But for me, I was like, oh my God, like, but I never wanted to compromise the conservative side of Tasha because it's kind of my more natural being. But I know that it bothers me that women have to sexualize themselves. It's so funny. They'll get criticized for twerking and everything else, but if they didn't do it, like you said, when you started showing your body, you started modeling, you started doing all that stuff in videos, all of a sudden your followers went up to here when you were this super amazing, educated mother with a natural gift and talent. But it took you, not compromising, but exposing yourself, even though you enjoy it. But you had to go the sexual route for any type of, like, what? How do you feel? I mean, honestly, not the principle of you feeling good doing it, but the principle that you had to do that in order to be able to be seen. How do you feel about that? Because that, I don't like it.
I have to say,
I don't even know what he's saying. I'm trying to go ahead.
I have to say, while some might find it demoralizing, right? Some people think it's compromising their morals. Like, if you're really changing yourself, it's different. Whereas, like, the things I wear and do, I was doing, just not filming them.
Okay.
So he was like, why not just put it on? Like, why not just do it?
Okay.
So I was already doing it. So it wasn't compromised. I wasn't compromising my morals or values. So for me, it was just like publicizing my life and taking a step forward for me. But I do think that, like, I'm grateful that it was even an option, because there's so many people in my lane, right? There's so many people that make music. There's so many people that model, that can write songs, that have kids, that have been abused. It's like, what makes you different? And I think that for me, my stand upon is my confidence in anything that I do. I give it 120%, whether it's shaking my butt or, inspiring my daughter. Like even when it comes to speaking with kids, it's okay. Yeah, it's demoralizing to some people, but that's only the people who think it's against their morals. My sister works at the Museum of Sex and has cunt tattooed on her hand. It's not really a big deal in my family to be a sexual being. I was at a women's march at 9 shouting, hey, hey, ho, ho, Bush and Cheney gotta go. So I've been marching for women's rights. Real rap. I hear you. I've been marching for women's rights since I was 8 or 9, and it didn't stop because I didn't love myself. I've been an activist and fighting for other people my whole life, but it took me fighting for myself for people to finally hear me.
I want a moment of silence right there. That just gave me goosebumps. That's very powerful. I think about a lot of the things I was doing prior to me going on my healing pause in 2018, and I had a certain level of success, but it wasn't really until, you're right, like as I call it, your choose you moment, when you choose yourself and you do things for you, that's when it's like the doors start opening up, because now you can take it on and now hopefully can, encourage other people to do it too. I think I appreciate what you're saying, because everyone's standards for what's moral aren't the same. You're correct. Like if we were in France, they'd be feeling like I was overdressed probably. I don't know. Or, if I wanted to go to the beach, they'd probably be like, take it out. But what's interesting though, there's times where I feel like I feel sexy today. I think I'm going to do some DIY, photos maybe of me and a little bit less than normal. And it's not to gain any type of, like, I don't want people in my DMs as a result. I want them to be women to be inspired and be like, whoa, this 40-year-old comeback queen, that's black and, everything else. I don't got like the European features. I'm not light skinned. I'm not skinny. I'm not any of that. I'm just Tasha, and I'm okay with it. And I want people to see my okayness. So you might see me in something tied up to here one day and then see me on a Caribbean beach in a 2-piece with, the cleavage showing and stuff the next day.
And don't say anything about either unless you like your outfit, okay? Because that's the one thing, the one comment I hate. I have a friend who's Muslim, and when she prays, she garbs. But when she's not praying, she doesn't garb. That's the only time she prays, is when she's garbed. And her faith is the only time you need to garb is if you're married or you're praying. And she's single AF. And she, somebody once said, well, why don't you wear it? We were all sitting around. She said, well, why aren't you wearing that all the time? She said, I don't have to. Like, it's my choice. It's my body. It's my choice. And I think that's what I promote on all fronts. If there is a political law, I think people deserve to choose what to do with their body regardless. I don't care what you wear. I don't care what you say. As long as you're not hurting other people or hurting me, live your best life. Be you and actualize yourself. Find out who you are and realize that it changes every day.
That's so, what else I love that you said though, is you realize, like, this is what's so funny when people try to put boxes and standards up, that someone's always going to be offended. Like, no matter what, I could be dressed from head to toe. There is somebody out there that's offended by something I've said already. Yeah. Sure. There's someone who's offended. Oh, you wear too much makeup, or how come you do this?
Like, your nails are too long. Your earrings are too big.
Yeah, like, it's like no one. So trying to level or be a certain way, there's just, like you said, I love that. Actualize yourself. Whatever Tasha's trying to be, whatever Rosa's trying to be, just be it and embrace it and be okay with it. And so when people are like, oh, why do you do all that? And why do you do all this? Or you do a lot. I go, it's a lot to you because it's not for you.
You see it online. Wait till you meet me in person.
I'm it's not a lot to me. I get 8 hours of sleep at night. Okay. It's not a lot to me.
It's not. And that's the thing. Like, that's why, when we were speaking earlier, you were like, some people aren't the same. They don't do all of that in person. Well, some of us really do. Like, and I think that was my big turning point when I started showing the world like what I love to do and who I am, and started like joining the trends. Like TikTok, I wasn't on TikTok until I think November of 2020. And I now have like 15,000 followers just from posting videos of me walking.
Wait, I believe you.
75,000 views, me walking down a pier. Like,
that's
please click the link in my bio.
Oh, I'm not even doing my job. Wait, hold on a second. Speaking of that, sorry. Okay, there.
Oh, I love it.
I know. I have all these cool things I can do because I'm the producer, I'm the talker, I'm the interviewer, I'm the engage the audiencer. I know it's not a word. I have to do all that right now unto the Lord. I'm just letting you know I'm being vetted out to be have my show on an actual network, and so I'm praying that I can get that opportunity because this is a lot. People got, I got to produce.
We need help over here. We're not going to name drop, but you know who we're talking to. And Tasha needs more help. We need a live in studio audience. I got you. Tasha, listen, I got you. I'll be there every day. I'll be like, I have tickets to the Tasha Haskins show. They're going to be like, Rosa, you came here yesterday. I'm going to be like, I don't care.
But you know what? I appreciate that because everyone needs like their hype man. Everyone needs their person that really believes in their dream. And what's interesting? I was curious. On that note, did you have anybody that just was like your cheerleader? I know you said your mom. I think she helps out with your daughter. But like, is there people that just were like, Rosa, you got this? Like even if it was you walking down the street for TikTok. I mean, I don't know. That's amazing. Like the things that people can become famous. I'm sorry.
It's true. It's and it's the things that take the least amount of time usually are the ones that go viral. You're like, all I did was walk and smoke a blunt. Why? But
the ones that really try to get cute for and put together, it's like 40 views.
And what I realized the most, it's funny. It's about just being in the right place, because no matter how badly you want it, you have to work for it. And I would love to say that I've had somebody like, yeah, Rosa, you're going to be a superstar. But like, everybody I meet, they're like, wow, you're different. You're special. Like when they hear me sing, they say they're impacted. That's what kept me going. I heard a quote once. I think it's by Emerson. It might not be. But it's just, he said, it might not be. I'll look it up and let you know. But it's the words. It's not really about who said it. It's about the words, because it's really about the impact, right, of the words. He said, if I was to change just one life, then my life's job has been complete. That means to me, I'm done. I already did it. I already accomplished something that many people have never even thought about, which is helping somebody else, which is pulling somebody else out of a dark place, either by sharing my testimony of abuse with another woman who's going through it, by sharing my story of child custody and going through the battle with my mom, whether sharing my hatred of my body or my self-loathing and my problems with self-confidence. It's not really about me. It's about everybody else. And so when one person can say, I've been impacted by your music, when one person can say, yo, I just broke up with my boyfriend or my girlfriend, and Free really got me through it. Free really got me through it. When one of my friends told me they had SEX to my song.
that means you arrived. No, that actually is a big deal. I'm sorry. There's all kinds of music, but when you're like, ooh, that song. Like, that's how I feel about that song, Beautiful by Maxwell, like, or So Beautiful. Like, I feel like that one, you know what I'm saying? A woman's work, but the fact you're in like the sex rotation, that's dope.
Yo, and it's the little things like that. Like my mom's next door neighbors are like 12. And one day this past summer, they like tapped me on the shoulder and they're like, Mimi's mom. I'm like, hey y'all. They're like, is this you? And they showed me the baby video with Black Youngster. And they said, is this you? I'm like, yes, I model, I sing, that's me. And I'm in a bathing suit top that they see me wear around the way. And they know what I wear shorts and tank tops all the time. No bra. You're not going to keep my tatas uncomfortable and sore. So they know who I am. They've seen me, but they didn't know what I did. And so it's things like that. Just the recognition from the neighbors. Once I got a DM, like, was that you driving down the street? I'm like, oh my God, I'm starting to get recognized. Like, awesome. It's all worth it. I'm getting paid. I'm booked. I just booked another photo shoot for Friday. I'm an event coordinator for a huge party in Philly on Saturday. Like, I'm here with you on Tuesday. Hey. Only inspirational people get to come sit on the Tasha Haskins show. Like, please. Like, these are the moments that remind me that what I'm doing is right. Because sometimes you could feel wrong. Like, I spend a lot of money on music and modeling. A lot of money. That's why I started a business, so that I could write my taxes off, because it's a lot. It's expensive. And when you don't have somebody in your corner cheering you on, providing funding, driving you to the airport, you have to do all this yourself. And I'm so grateful, but Tosh, me too. I'm ready for some help too. Yeah. But it's all in due time, and asking God and saying that you're going to have it. I tell everybody, when you see me at the Met Gala in my dress where my head is the rose and the body is the thorn and the stem, you'll know that I actualized this and saw it and told you about it first. Because everything I say, I do it because I'm not going to stop. I'm not.
That's really good. So this went a whole different type of direction, but I mean, we started off singing, what was the song? Take Me to the King. I guess I should have known better.
Take me to, that's my ish. Like that and 4 a.m. by Melanie Fiona. Woo.
I love it. I just love your energy. I love when you talk about the whole, like, visualizing things. I think everyone's waiting, especially the millennials, no offense. And I'm technically a millennial by like 3 days, which is devastating. But anyway, it's okay. But
devastating. She said it's devastating.
It is. You people drive me crazy. But I mean, I think about people are looking for that microwave like opportunity. And sometimes the opportunity comes through you working on you, and in that, like you are able to reveal it's revealed to you what your actual purpose is and where you're actually going to shine, and I think that's kind of with me. I mean, I'm not going to lie, like I've never, matter of fact, fun story, I was about a little bit younger than you. There was this guy, this huge crush on. He worked for like Microsoft, and we both had 2 boys and everything else, and like, yeah. And I was like 23, 24. And I had zero mindset to be modeling, to be doing anything. I was trying to finish my degree. I was trying to, take care of 2 kids. I had 2 jobs. Like, I was like, I felt like I was a failure. And he's like, you know what? I'm sorry. I can't be with you. And I'm like, why? He's like, I'm not going to be the Stedman to your Oprah. And I was like, and at the time, of course, I was confused. And I realized that he's saying, like, basically, you're going to be this person.
The star.
And I'm not trying to be, little do people know those, Mr. Stedman has his own thing going on, his own net worth, but I'm not going to go there. But
I don't even know who that is. That's so funny.
That's her significant other. But anywho, that's hilarious. But my point was, though, is that like people, I guess, saw what that, and I never saw that.
Before you saw it. Yep. That's how you knew.
Because I didn't see me. And so it wasn't until my late 30s that I even began to want to go through the process to seeing Tasha, and then these other things started being realized. And I'm like, oh, I'm about to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. Oh, this is what this is going to look like. Like literally. And then now it's some of these things are coming to fruition. You're right. It's about, hard work. I'm in my house, I don't have the whole bells and whistles yet, but I'm acting as if. I get my makeup done every week. I make sure I got a cute outfit every week. I make sure my hair's done. I'm acting as if. I'm not going to just dust my hair off and put on a selfie camera and be like, okay, hi, welcome to the top. Like, I'm not doing that, because at some point it won't be in my house. It won't be like this. And so I feel like that's what you're saying, is like you're acting as if, you operate as if. When you walk down the street, when you're driving your car, you're already in your own music.
As if I am. There's no questions about what we are. It's just about whether or not we're willing to accept it. We deny ourselves. I've sang my whole life. I denied myself. I denied who I was. Not everybody can sing. If you have a talent, not everybody can do it. Not everybody can spout out what pi is. 3.14, blah, 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 blah. Not everybody. I say this to everybody. A heart surgeon can close his eyes. Can you close your eyes for me? Can you close your eyes and see what it looks like to operate on the artery in a heart? Absolutely. No. That's not what we were made for, Tasha. But a heart surgeon, he was made for that. He trained for that. He worked for that. Or she, they. I trained for singing. I trained for acting. I trained for modeling. I've trained to be a people person my whole life and denied myself that. And then my life went awry. My life was everywhere. I was a mess. I was in an abusive relationship. I had a kid. I was married. I was uneducated. I was working dead-end 9-to-5 jobs, making $7.25 an hour. You can't be afraid of yourself. You can't be afraid of your power, because that's what everybody else is. The whole world is afraid that we'll all realize who we are and not take the bullcrap anymore. Not take the racism, the sexism, the sizeism, the ageism, that will stand up into ourselves and say, screw your rules and your boxes and your boundaries. And that's why people are so scared of Lil Nas X, because he said, screw you, screw your boundaries, screw your religion and your faith, because you cannot enforce your values upon me. You can't. Inspire and drive forward. Yeah. Period. Nice. Thank you, DJ Funk Gut.
Why did you pronounce it all like that? But,
we're educated now.
That's so, man. I'm really inspired. And this is also, you guys, as we're getting ready to close, like, here's the thing where you literally, we say here, don't judge a book by its cover, but we do.
We do.
Okay. So little do people know that, you're about to graduate with your degree. You're a businesswoman. You have all these things going on. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. And we have all these things going on, but they may just see a big butt and a smile. And you're like, yeah, this girl's poison, but I'm just kidding. That was my little Velvet DeVoe joke. It might be a little old for you, but I'm just telling you. But I mean, and it's very cool to see that we can have this very deep, informative, introspective conversation when people might look at your Instagram and be like, oh my God. And you're like, hello, I'm a whole businesswoman. I'm not out here. I don't got no dude. I'm not out here sleeping with nobody. I'm a mom. But that's a perception that could be given, right? Based off of, how you're choosing to express your love for you and how you do you.
It's literally what I built my platform off of. I named myself Rosa Not So Nice because I'm so tired of people looking at me and just assuming I'm some type of way. And if I'm tired of that, and I'm a white girl with blue eyes, can you imagine what it's like for other people? Can you really put yourself in somebody else's footsteps? Because you never know. You never know. And that's why my name is Rosa Not So Nice, because you can look at somebody and think, okay, they're this one way. But then when you dig deep, when you go under the book, if you look at my tattoos, you dig into the roots, the vines. This is why I have vines and roots on my body, because when you dig, you find out what it's all about. When you dig a tree root that's been there for 150, 75 years, it goes wider than you would have ever imagined. You never know.
Wow.
You never know.
Powerful. There's really nothing. I'm usually not speechless. But that is just so powerful. I really, really, really grateful and just honored to have you on the show. You have spit so much word. Y'all better share this, rewatch it. Of course, you already know I'm going to do my little edits, my little clips, my little bloopers and stuff, but this was very good. I would venture to say probably one of the most powerful shows I've had yet. You spoke, and I know there are women from every demographic, from every walk of life, even men. We were talking about, hey, like who you are isn't in question. It's if you are going to actually walk in that. I was like we over here like, who am I? Oh, who you like? Are you gonna let that person shine?
I'm right here, like.
Right. That's so good. That's
who am I? I don't know. I won't even go skydiving to try. Like.
I won't be doing that. But anyway, I bet you do, girl. I know you do. But anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for being on my show tonight. You guys can see at the bottom of the screen how you can check out Miss Rosa, how you can also tap into her music and everything else. You watch her walk, apparently, whatever those things. If you want to watch Rosa walk,
TikTok, if you do not want to see me walk from behind.
I'm just kind of jealous. Like, I'm like, I don't have TikTok.
My TikTok was disabled during the pageant. I took it down.
I was like, I wonder if I could just walk. And I'm just kidding. But anyway,
you can put on a comfy dress that curves. Put on a comfy dress that curves, and everywhere you go, just shoot from behind. Just have somebody shoot you walking in. Just the way your body, it's art. It's art the way the clothes fit your body.
No, I hear you, sis. I hear you. But once God gives me a husband, he's gonna see me walk all the time. Okay.
Without the clothes.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you again for joining. We are overtime. Next week, I have an amazing guest. He is also in the media, kind of more the background side of the media industry, a Black man. And we're going to be talking about just mental health and kind of stigmas around Black men and really being able to just talk about who they are, what's really going on in their lives and everything else. So you guys, thank you again for tapping in. You guys already know what I say. It's never too late to choose you, change your path, walk in your purpose. Rosa, thank you. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you.